Hello, my fellow speakers. This is Brian, the speaker for the dead, coming to you tonight with kind of a sad video. Not really sad, just disappointing and kind of disheartening from some things that are happening in this great country of ours. And so I wanted to talk about that with you tonight and share a news story, possibly a couple of news stories about some things that are happening that I think that people need to be made aware of, because this is the future of our country we're talking about. This is the, and I apologize for not making this a more positive video, but there's really no positive way to spin this. It's just kind of disturbing and sad. So let's just get right into the news story. So like I say, I apologize for the kind of low demeanor, but after reading this story, it's really hard to get happy about this unless you're one of the deranged psychos that this story is actually about. So let's just get right into this story. So we're going to read along here, and then I'm just going to be making comments as we go. This story angered, but more than anything, just disgusted me. I give full kudos to the Blaze. They're the ones that broke this story. It came across my email today, and I was reading it, and I almost got sick to my stomach. So let's take a look at this and read through it. So the headline is, "Hail Satan. Spitting, twerking, violent pro-abortion mob descends upon pro-life group at college." Nice, huh? Look at this sweet young woman. Doesn't that make you just want to go and befriend her and be friends on Facebook? Now, the reason this picture is all blurry and stuff is she's in the middle of an action. Now, I don't know if you can tell what the action is, but she was actually spitting on people. Yeah. Okay. So what caused all this? So I'm just going to start reading the article to you. It's not very long. Things seem relatively placid when a pro-life group, TFP Students Action, set up a small demonstration with brochures and bagpipes on George Washington University in the nation's capital last month. But the peace would not last. One flustered woman kicked things off, arguing one point with a pro-lifer. It is still a baby. If it's still a baby inside, I have every single right to effing decide what to do with my own effing body. And I'm assuming this picture below here is a picture of the deranged lunatic who said something so disgusting. So she acknowledges that it is a baby. At least she knows it's not broccoli growing in there. Right there, we've already, kind of moved on into better territory with these people. But yeah, so she does recognize that it is a baby, but that's not enough to stop her from being evil. Stop her from murdering. I'm just gonna leave it right there. So several others demanded that the TFP Student Action immediately leave. Actually started saying they had no right to be on campus. No right to be on campus. These kids are students too. These ones that were here doing this, no right to be on campus, because words hurt. Language is a killer. Don't you know? Ideas could make you think, and we don't do that on college campuses anymore. Get out of here with your ideas. This is a thought-free zone. This is that we don't think here. We just read cue cards and make signs, and that's how we live our life. Anyway, so mob rules is the next minor headline. TFP Student Action said pro-abortion advocates soon employed social media to organize like-minded folks to gather and confront their members, who were quickly and vastly outnumbered. That in itself, again, disgusting. "Hail Satan," one of the demonstrators yelled at the pro-life group, or the pro-life group said. A male student offered that "I eat baby lungs for breakfast." That was added by one of the TFP students. I don't know what TFP stands for, and it doesn't matter. But yeah. What? You eat baby lungs for breakfast. Kind of says it all about that person, doesn't it? I don't know if there's another comment that needs to be added. The fact that you could say that, whether you mean it or not, or I mean, wow. It's a good thing you guys are cheering for Satan, because you're going to spend a lot of time with Satan. I mean, just to support this and to say those kind of things. I mean, it doesn't matter how angry you are. It doesn't matter what the issue is. You seriously talk about eating human flesh. That's where we're at on college campuses. Makes you proud. Don't you want to spend like $100,000 a year sending your kids to George Washington University? No. I would rather send them to trade school. I don't care how prestigious the university. These campuses, these universities, they're just disgusting sinkholes of decadence. And I mean, this just makes me feel like, you know what? Just bring on the end. Bring on the end, because we're not getting out of this. Because these are the next generations coming up that are out there saying this stuff. And they are vastly outnumbering the kids who are just trying to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't kill the most innocent amongst us. Oh, but this article goes on. So let's read down a little bit more. Perhaps the most disturbing moment took place when an angry woman spit on a pro-lifer. Spit on a pro-lifer. Now, given the appearance of this woman, at that point I would have not been able to remain unviolent, because given the fact that these people are pro-life or pro-abortionists and talk about eating baby lungs and hail Satan, who knows where her mouth's been and what her saliva might contain. I mean, she could have the plague for all I know. I mean, given the actions and the type of life she's trying to support with, the lifestyle she's supporting. Yes, no, thank you. I don't want whatever you have in your mouth. One TFP volunteer said he was kicked in the back of the leg, while another said students repeatedly hit his arm cast. That seems just kind of weird. At one point, the crowd converged around the TFP student action, dancing and singing and flipping off the pro-life group. Now here's a picture of these lovely people flipping them off and just reading some of their signs. It's disgusting. I encourage all of you to get on The Blaze and go look this up. The Blaze covers some stories that nobody else is really looking into, and it's stuff that needs to be looked at, because this is what's going on our campuses all across this country. And oh my gosh, the TFP said campus police left it to Washington D.C. cops to quell the mob, forming a barrier between the two groups. Not that it helped much, but the mob showed neither respect for the police officers nor obeyed their orders. TFP Student Action Director John Ritchie said they just continued screaming, "My body, my choice." You can't have your body here talking about what you want to talk about and touting your beliefs. Oh, no. But our bodies, our choice to spit on you. But that's my body. And you don't have the right to spit on it. If I don't have the right to tell you what you can do with your body, you don't have the right to put your saliva on mine. Can we just agree that right now? Because, ew. Soon police officers escorted the pro-life group to their vehicles, and counter-demonstrators smelt victory. Following them and screaming with delight, one overjoyed soul even twerked for the occasion. Yeah, and here's a picture of that. I don't know how well you can see that. It's fairly small on my screen. But yeah, she's twerking to show how proud she is. Pro-lifers said the hellish crowd gave them parting gifts as well. One of them put pro-abortion signs on our windshield, and others started spitting on the windows of our van, Ritchie said. If they don't respect the most innocent lives of the unborn, do you really think you can trust pro-abortion activists to respect anyone? Yeah, well, Ritchie, I'm going to go with a no on that. The TFP student action leader added that pro-abortion mob refused to acknowledge that every innocent human person, born or preborn, has the right to life. Of course, that ruins their argument, which they don't really have an argument. They have slogans. Our culture has strayed so far from God and reason that what used to be self-evident is not so clear anymore. I would say not clear at all to these people, especially on left-wing college campuses where procedural abortion is considered to be more than a right. It's been granted the status of a secular virtue. Ugh. Sorry, just had a shiver go down my spine for the end of the world. The college fix said it asked Ritchie about his group's all-male team, which particularly irks pro-abortion advocates who say men can't tell women what to do with their bodies. We're not telling you what to do with your bodies. We're telling you to stop killing the bodies that are inside of you. See the difference? Little difference. Although we promote activities for the whole family, our core team of volunteers is for men. He told the fix we strive to live the virtues and spirit of Catholic chivalry. Since the deliberate killing of the unborn is both unjust and morally evil, we stand up and speak out. Real men will always defend the right to life of the unborn. Well said. Well said, sir. So these psychos showed up not to engage in a discussion, not to talk about things, but to attack people who didn't believe what they believed and to drive them off the campus. And in my opinion, every single one of them that was there, that was a pro-abortionist, should have been arrested and taken to jail. This needs to stop. The police need to intervene in these situations, and they need to stop allowing this to be the rule of the day, because it's just not going to end until these psychos are made to account for their actions. Okay, now if the pro-life people had started this by throwing stuff or spitting on them or causing problems and stuff, okay, yeah, then it'd be equally both sides' fault. But it's not both sides' fault. These people just wanted to have a little rally of their own and hand out some pamphlets and talk about things, and they were basically mobbed and attacked. And I hope they didn't drive their own van to this thing, because more than likely their license plates were taken down and they'll be harassed and harangued further, especially if they're ever seen on campus again. I hope they don't actually go to George Washington University, because their life might be in danger, especially if they were caught on their own by a group of these psychos. And but that needs, talk about free speech zones and stuff. The cops need to come in and just arrest these people and put them in jail for disorderly conduct, for assault on another human being. You spit, you do anything like that, the cops hold you down and take you to jail. You can spend a couple of nights in the drunk tank with a bunch of psychos just like you. But that's the only way we're going to get order back. We're going to overcome these things. Is the police and the people in authority have to stop allowing this to go on. We have to start taking on Antifa. Whenever Antifa shows up anywhere, the cops need to come in and clear those psychos out, because that's what they are. They're psychos. They're not peaceable protesters. And I would say that for any group, no matter whether it's a group that I might normally agree with. Anybody who goes in and incites violence and causes problems is just a disgusting, foul human being. And I'm really trying to contain the anger inside of me tonight because the rest of my family's asleep and I don't want to be screaming into the microphone and screaming at the computer. So I just encourage you to go look this story up because it's sad. It's sad. Get out there and support good causes. Just be careful where you do it, because if you get yourself in a situation like this, it's evident that the police aren't going to help maintain your rights, that they're going to try and escort you off and protect your safety as good as they can, but that's not nearly good enough. That's not nearly good enough. Your freedom of speech has been violated. You've been forced out of an area by a bunch of psychos that shouldn't be allowed in this country, and if they want to hold a counter protest, that's fine. You go 3 blocks that direction, you can have all the counter protests you want. But you cannot stand here and attack these people who were here first, who were speaking first. I don't know if they had a permit or whatever, but yeah, hey, you want to have a rally against this rally? Great. 3 blocks that way, or you go to the other side of campus, you can have all the rally you want, but you cannot interfere with these people's freedom of speech, and I don't think that should go for both sides. So, unless you can be polite and respectful to each other, and they obviously couldn't. Well, the one could, the other one couldn't. So, but this is disgusting. The other news story I wanted to talk about, I'm not going to read it to you. It was another news story by The Blaze that talked about the actor Mark Ruffalo has tried to lead a revolt against Ellen DeGeneres, who got into a little bit of a controversy because, oh my gosh, she sat near George W. Bush at I think it was a football game or a basketball, or it was a baseball or a football game or something. I don't know all the details about what they were watching. I just know that they were in the same box because they'd both been invited to that place by the owner of the team. They didn't, like, Ellen wasn't sitting next to President Bush because that's where she wanted to sit, but she was a decent human being. She was civil, and she said, I don't agree with him, but that doesn't mean I have to be a nasty human being. And Mark Ruffalo, and she, you can go look these comments up. She talked about it on her show, and it was very funny. She gave a very moving speech about how just because we disagree with each other doesn't mean we cannot show kindness and decency to other people when we're around them. And I thought it was so well said, so well spoken. But apparently Mark Ruffalo, the guy I used to really kind of like, who plays the Hulk, and he's played some other characters I like, I don't think I'll be able to watch it the same, because he went on to say how George W. Bush should be held for war crimes and for leading us into the Iraq war and blah, 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 blah. And I just, Mark, you're a psycho. You're a psycho, and you're going to make it so I don't want to watch any movie that has you in it from now on, because I'm sick and tired of you actors who think I need to hear what your politics are. And especially when it's so mean-spirited and vile that you're attacking someone who was trying to tell people to be decent to each other. You can't even be decent to another human being. You have to attack George W. But George W. Bush is not the devil, any more than Barack Obama is the devil. And I can't stand Barack Obama, but I would not go up to him and try and go out of my way to be rude or psychotic to him. I would just avoid the situation. But if I had to sit next to him, I'd try and be polite. I would try and be respectful as much as I could and just get out of the situation as quickly as I could, because I don't agree with him. I don't agree with his politics. I don't agree with what he tried to do as president, but that doesn't mean I need to be a worthless scumbag to him. We're never going to get anywhere if we can't be decent human beings to one another. So I encourage you to go look that story up too, because Mark Ruffalo's leading this big crusade trying to attack Ellen DeGeneres for not being a psycho. Kudos, Ellen. I already think you're hilarious. I don't agree with your lifestyle, but hey, you do you live your life, and that's what this country's about: freedom and decency and respect. And thank goodness we have a few people in Hollywood situations that are trying to say those very things and trying to be the voice of reason in this absolutely crazy year of 2019. Thank you, Ellen. You're the best. and I hope you get more success because of your willingness to be a decent human being and to treat people with respect, even if you don't agree with them. So anyway, I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I can't take this vile hatred that people attack each other with anymore. It's just, but I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, and I'm absolutely pro-life. Absolutely. I made videos on how pro-life I am, and stuff, but can't we just be decent? But I mean, to say things like, I eat baby lungs, I hail Satan. I mean, and I know these people probably don't believe that, but they're just trying to be disgusting human beings. Well, mission accomplished. Nobody wants anything to do with you, Mr. Baby Lung Eater, Mr. Hail Satan. At least we know what you are now. So, good job. Anyway, get out there and have yourselves a great day, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks.